Hello and thank you for tuning into this episode. Right now, me, my father and my brother are visiting Simadalen, which is one of my favorite valleys here in Norway on the west coast. And I like to come here at least once a year. So now I am here for the first time this year. And we just set up camp, put everything together there. And right now I am scouting around, looking for a nice place to set up a time-lapse. So I got the backpack with me, with the time-lapse slider and everything. So now I am just looking for a nice spot, see if I can find some kind of cool. I'm hoping for a little bit of mossy rocks and just blooming of the birch trees and every of that. So let's see what I can find. And I also have the river in the back here. So after I set up the time-lapse slider, I'm gonna put on some camouflage, and then I'm gonna camp in the river, around the river, and hopefully get some bird photography as well today. But yeah, I will scout around a little bit, see if I can find a good spot for a time-lapse, put it up, set it up, and just let that go for like 20 minutes, half an hour. So yeah, I hope you stay tuned and enjoy this episode. Alright, so I've set up my second time-lapse. This one was a little bit of a struggle because I was looking for like this nice composition, and it took me some time to find at least some kind of idea to set up for composition right now. But I ended up with this one because I used too much time, and it's a little bit hard because there's no vegetation on the ground yet. There's no like spring colors or flowers or that much of that stuff. It's mostly up in the trees right now. So what I plan to do here is that the slider is panning. It's going forward and panning around this rock on the left side. So the rock will always be in the left side of the frame while the camera kind of pans around it. And then I have this kind of pathway going here into the woods here. So the last frame is the camera pointing into the pathway. So I'm hoping that's going to turn out to be at least decent. Right now I'm using a GM1. It's the smallest micro four third camera, so there's almost like no weight on the time-lapse slider. It's like the lightest camera, and then I'm using the 17mm, which is approximately 35mm in full frame. I have no cable, so it's kind of working separately. The slider is on its own timer and the camera is on its own timer because there's no cable that fits. I don't own any cable where it is to communicate with each other. So they are kind of separate doing the time lapses. But yeah, when I'm setting up a time lapse like this, there is certain things I need to think about when I do it. One thing is where the shadow is being cast from the time-lapse slider. So right now the sun is behind me like this, and it's gonna cast a shadow into the same direction as the camera is pointing. But luckily with the 17mm I am a little bit narrowing it in, or a little bit more zoomed into the area. So I've just managed to put the shadows of the slider just outside of the frame. The second one, as you can see here, is a tripod. So one of the tripod foots is sticking into the frame or into the same direction as the camera is pointing. But luckily I also saw that, and I am putting that one out just outside the frame as well. So hopefully nothing is going to be in the frame when it comes to the shadows or the tripod. So yeah, I think I'm doing around 800 pictures. So that's and a 2-second timer or 2 seconds interval, and that is, I think, 30 minutes. At least I think that was something it said. 30-40 minutes, something like that. So now I'm just gonna let it go. It's already 1/3 on the way, and then hopefully it will turn out great, and you will see it now. While the time lapse was going, it's over here. I think it's already done. But while it was going, I went down here to the river to give it another try to spot some birds. Because the first time I didn't spot much. I saw a pipit and a wobbler. I think that was it. So I wanted to give it another try. I did not spot that many birds in the beginning. So I started wandering around a little bit in this area, and then I spotted the pied flycatcher. I think it's European pied flycatcher, it's called. I got both the male and the female, I think. It's not the best pictures because there's so many branches and it's up in the trees, and there's so much obstacles between me and the bird, so it's not the best. But it's pretty fun to spot them. I got a little bit of video, some pictures, so let's see. Maybe some of them are good. But another thing I also spotted a dipper, by the way, but he was pretty far up the river, so I didn't get any good pictures or videos there. But what I did spot is something I have never seen on the west coast before, and that is the tree creeper. So I got at least some sharp pictures of the tree creeper with a little bit of bokeh background. So I hope I got some pictures there to show, because that's the first time I've seen it in the west coast. I've seen it very often in the east coast in Oslo, but this is the first here, so that is quite exciting. So at least I got some bird pictures. They're not the best, but at least it's something. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up soon. My brother and father is getting a little bit tired, and it's starting to get late. So it's not been the best episode, like it's not been the best day for bird photography. It's really few birds around. It's kind of frightening actually, because it should be just booming with birds and song. But right now, in the beginning we just saw the chaffinch and a couple of wobblers. But now, later, I also saw the pied flycatcher and the tree creeper, so there's some around. You just have to be a little bit patient and maybe look for it a little bit. But it should be much more, so it's a little bit sad that it's not that much bird life right now. But I did some time lapses. I hope they turned out to be good. Other than that, it's been a really nice weather. I am walking around in sweater and it's quite warm, so that's quite good. The nature is beautiful. So overall, a good day. But photography wise, yeah, a little bit mediocre maybe. But still, I got some picture of tree creeper, so I'm happy, but the picture quality is probably not the best. But I think I'm gonna end it here. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.